Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Skin Talk Tuesday podcast. Hi, Nick.
Hi.
How are you?
I am great. Your brows
I was hoping you were going to say something because
seriously look fabulous.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. If you see the camera, there you go. There you go. If you're watching on YouTube, which you should be, I got my brows done last week by Kate, one of our estheticians. She is a brow specialist. That's actually like her original trade, but she's obviously also an esthetician, acne specialist, all of that at PT. And she's toying with the idea of introducing brow tints to like her menu specifically as like an add-on for treatments. You guys, let me tell you, I'm looking at myself different. I like cannot stop and it's especially better when I have like a full face of makeup because I think I could really like see it all come together.
You know what's really beautiful? Because my mum is obsessed with brows. If you don't know, my mum is also an esthetician. So I grew up, you know how people say like you grew up with a silver spoon? It's like I grew up with a spoolie, with my mum.
Yes, totally.
But my mum is obsessed with brows. And what I love the most is when people have brows that just look polished but not overly done. Like she's done such a great job. It just, I never looked at you and thought, oh, wow, Mary needs to have her brows done. But now that you have them done,
now I'm like, okay, I can never go back. Great. No, seriously, like even, because I never really paid attention to my brows before. I always say like I had a modeling agent when I first started modeling in college. She was like, never touch your eyebrows again, because I used to just like pluck them because I thought that that's what you're supposed to do. So then I have literally never touched that. That was maybe 10 years ago. Have never touched them since. And then Kate did it last week, and now I'm like, oh yeah,
it's just it
gives me like a little bit more of like a sharper look, I think, of my face.
And your eyes are like so poppy on your face, like blue and always kind of the center. So it's like you've framed them nicely. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I was actually hoping you would bring that up because I wanted to shout out Kate because like
I can't stop staring. I can't stop staring at them.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. I'm blushing. Okay. Well, happy anniversary to you.
Thank you.
And Nushi's dad.
I know.
Abele.
Yeah. I call him Abele. Which is like Abba is father, and I don't know why I added the lay, but that's how it is now.
It's kind of like Pacific vibes.
I know, Abba lay. But 19 years, it's kind of shocking.
19 years.
I mean, it feels like a long time. We have been through a lot together in life.
Yeah.
But in other ways, I can take myself back to when we first met. Like it does feel like yesterday, but that's life,
that's so cute.
But I mean, 1 year off 20, which
I know. And tell everybody what you're just telling me.
Okay,
what you want
Mary,
to do for 20.
I wish I had saved it to tell her on camera because I honestly didn't think you were going to have that sort of reaction. But my dream, I definitely want to mark the 20 years with something special because if you don't know me, one thing that might shock you is that I'm not overly I don't celebrate Valentine's. I don't really even celebrate birthdays that much.
Yeah.
And my partner is the same. Nushi's dad is exactly the same. I think that's what makes us so good together. I mean, we celebrate, he cooks meals every week and we acts of service are our love language for sure.
Right.
And our relationship is definitely intense, but we just don't do those sorts of things. But I feel like for the 20, I want to do something special. And I haven't been to Europe. And so I thought that I hope that we will go to Paris.
You heard it here now, everybody. We're going to keep you accountable so that you go. Seriously, because I love Paris. I was saying it's my second favorite city outside of New York. And it's just like, so beautiful. It really is. So I remember just looking at all of the architecture. I'm like, this is not real. Like this feels like a backdrop for something. It's so beautiful.
I can't even imagine. Like I feel like coming from somewhere like New Zealand, because it is so far away from everything, and just the generation that I came from, we didn't travel that much. And so to be able to go to the places and see things that you've only seen in movies and books. It'll be so cool.
Well, you told me before that like in New Zealand, a lot of people either go to America or they go to Europe, right?
In my day, you used to do one big overseas excursion. Like you'd finish college and before you settled down, you'd do like a big trip. And a lot of people used to go to the UK because it was very easy for us. We're part of the Commonwealth and you could even work. I think it's changed now, but people used to be able to work
Yep.
there and that sort of thing. And if people came to the States, they'd actually do the West Coast. So there's a lot of,
yeah.
you know, it's warmer and it's a little bit like more
yeah.
like home.
Right.
So there's not as many. Like I do know there are a few Kiwis here, but the East Coast, not so much.
Yeah. I think there's, like, a
Europe, I'm
Kiwi
sure,
community.
you know, like people would do trips like that back in the day, but it would be like a one-off. And I just think for myself, because I chose to live away from my family, I've always felt whenever I have the finances and the time, I feel compelled to go home. So it really has kind of stunted my global travel. But it's something that's ever since when I turned 50, I became very conscious of the fact that that's kind of my bucket list about world travel.
Right.
Is always front of mind. I hope we can do that, but we'll see. Yeah.
I mean, I really think that you need to go.
Well, it's done then.
Well, everybody.
Now we
this
just need to tell
podcast-
Abele and,
Yeah, there you
and
go.
I'm sure Noosh will love all the
she would
cheese and
seriously
pasta.
love it so much. Well, switching gears here for a sec, I really want to get your thoughts. Have you heard of this mattress gate on TikTok
Yes.
with acne?
Yes.
And how like
yes.
this one mattress is like breaking people out? I really want to get your thoughts. I feel like this is like live. Well, not live, but like in real time.
So there's merit
thoughts.
to it.
Okay.
It's not, there isn't, you know, what is that saying about smoke and fire? Like where
there's smoke, there's fire. Yeah.
Yeah, I do believe that when people see, the funny thing is, one of the skin influencers that is kind of blowing this up at the moment is someone that, like, I reached out to her privately.
Yes.
Because she was struggling with her skin, and I know she's seen a lot of estheticians, but I didn't want to say it in public, because you know when people are sharing about their struggles in public, I try and get a vibe like, is this person wanting some advice, or are they just wanting to share? Because I know there's fatigue, and I'm sure you can attest to that. When you're going through skin troubles, you don't want to hear unsolicited advice. And even though I'm an expert, I'm like, I don't do that on social media. Like, I'm not just like dropping advice all over the place if I don't feel like it's wanted. But I reached out to her privately because what I saw on camera, I'm like, that's not acne, that's something systemic. And it reminded me of a case that I had a long time ago. And she actually found mold toxicity. When you can tell the body is struggling with high levels of some sort of environmental trigger or something, you get something that looks like acne, but it's more your follicles are just they're either reacting to intense toxicity or something like that. And so I reached out to her privately. This is all just before she got that information. And then she got that info, because I shared a picture of because we've, told the story publicly. So I was able to share a picture of my client, and I said, what you're going through looks very much like this. And she had exposure to mold, like, have you had testing?
Yeah.
And then the next story I see is the mattress thing. So I'm, I'm not saying mattresses are the cause of acne.
Yeah.
But if you are struggling with your skin, you genuinely are doing all the things. And it's still, there's no alleviation. And I think the big telltale sign, and this definitely, I've noticed this with this particular skin influencer before, it also goes up and down wildly. So it's like that points to, it's like when you get rashes from things you're irritated, it's like you come into contact with it, it flares up, you stay away from it for a while, it goes down. Acne doesn't act like that. When you have a flare-up, you have a flare-up. It takes a while. It doesn't go up and down.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Yeah.
Like when you have acne, 90 days, comedones form, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But like if you're, sensitive to something, it's a flare up that like comes.
And I remember when I was pregnant and I was getting a lot of new clothing and I got this mysterious rash, and I remember going to the dermatologist, and she had said to me, even though I'd laundered the new clothes, because I had this influx of new clothes, she was like, a lot of material that comes from overseas has been sprayed in chemicals to keep it fresh in transit. And people can have reactions. So I suppose without being a fearmonger, like I've always, I have a love-hate relationship with needing to give out information, because I don't want to be part of a machine that is just fear-mongering all the time, because I see it. Our clientele is young, impressionable, and in the prime of their lives. I don't want to be a part of kind of like, you need to be afraid of absolutely everything
right. That's
that
doing
you...
like the reverse.
Yeah, but you do need to be aware. And I do think that when we are purchasing things that our systems are coming into contact with, especially regularly, you need to be careful and just do your due diligence, especially if you are someone who's sensitive. And that's one thing I always tell my acne prone clients, because I don't think that we're taught to kind of attack our skin, dry it out, kind of treat it like crap. But we're not understanding we have skin struggles because we're sensitive. And so we will also be sensitive to laundry detergent, to friction, to heat, to materials, you know, and what's in the things that we're using, consuming, everything.
Right. I just thought that the deduction to the mattress was so interesting, because that would not cross my mind like at all.
Well,
and then like to get it, oh my gosh, I just can't imagine how annoying that is to like get it. Obviously have like some of the photos of like other people that have said that they've had this like correlation. The inflame, it's not acne, it's like an inflamed,
that's what I'm saying
like
to
reaction.
You. When I saw when she had the pimple patches and stuff on her face, I was in my head like, that's not acne,
right?
Like don't do that. Like
right.
I,
like
you
that's
know,
just gonna like make it worse, like even more irritating.
The stuff to bring down
no, totally.
the reactivity for sure.
It's just something to think about. Like kind of feel aware, cautious of like things like that. Not to your point,
especially if you're struggling.
You know? Totally. I also want to say we announced this week our giveaway for a facial with you, Nick. I'm so excited to introduce the series. I know we've teased it a little bit before, but I don't know. I just am really excited to bring new people into the treatment, or not new people, but potentially new people into the treatment room.
It's going to be like a wild card sort of thing.
I've said this
like,
before,
who's
I think,
going to be next?
I love when like you come to me with either a new client or like somebody who's seen the team and like sees you finally, and you're like, I found something new. Like you're just like really playing detective. And I think that being able to do that for somebody in the community is one, obviously a way to like give back, especially for you, but then also for like, oh, well, maybe this skin, kind of similar, honestly, to mattress gate. Like maybe this like skin struggle or, you know, this trigger or whatever can help somebody else. So I'm really excited to bring that. And I'm just happy to crash like all of your guys' treatments. I think that that's like always so fun.
Well, people bring such special things to the treatment room. Like if you come to see me, I know if you're listening, you will be thinking this too. I always say during treatments, God, I wish I was recording this, because we will have a conversation that's either super interesting and goes all over the place because so many people that come to see me are so interesting, or it's helpful information that I kind of wish was out there that I sometimes forget about. And,
I know.
and I'm in the treatment room, I can't like write it down. And then you think, God, I wish, that I could. And to your point, like I kind of feel this is a little cheesy, but in Judaism, you are encouraged to do mitzvot. That's like the ultimate. And I kind of feel like being able to give back to the community as I pull back in other ways. Like it's been emotionally a very hard time for me over the last couple of years. I've loved growing and it's exciting to bring on a team, but you know me, like it's hard. I've spent my whole life being an esthetician. And so the bigger Pacific Touch gets, it's like I don't have as much contact as I necessarily want sometimes. And this idea that we can have this as an option feels really good. Like I'm excited. I know it's going to be a really great thing. Yeah, me too. I'm really excited. Giveaway details are on our Instagram. So make sure to follow us there to potentially see Nick Skin IRL. Talk Tuesday podcast page. Yes, there you go. That's the promo we need. All right, well, let's get to the crux of why we are here today, why we are in studio talking about a very important topic when it comes to the acne healing journey, and that is scarring. Acne scarring, what to do, myth busting, all of the things. I feel like, I don't know, there's a lot of misinformation I feel like out there, or I mean, even like I don't understand everything, and I'm so excited to really get into it with you, because I do think that you're going to be able to like bring some light onto something that I feel as though
a lot of the times with acne healing or just like acne in general, it's like you don't want any acne to lead to scarring. So then like the faster that you can just get rid of it, the better. And sometimes that's using suppression, but obviously we don't use suppressants. So how do we go about like we all want to be at the, you know, clear skin end game.
And it's scary. Like the messy middle does look like, oh my God, is this going to stay with
like,
me
what
forever?
am I doing? Yeah.
And the anxiety around it. I actually think that scarring is as anxiety ridden as going through actual acne.
Yeah, I'm
like
sure.
People are terrified that they're going to scar. And it's all consuming, you know?
Right. All right. So let's set the record straight when it comes to holistic acne healing and scarring, because I feel like there's a lot of hesitation with going the holistic route to clear acne, because the quote is always it's gonna scar, like get rid of it, like I was saying before, like get rid of it before it can lead to scarring. So what is your take on this? Is it a myth, or
I think it's you know, it's complex. I'm not going to make a blanket statement and say it's a complete myth, but I think that there's a lot of fear-mongering and misinformation around acne scarring, and people sometimes are told things to push them into a decision like amping up suppression. It's often, I've got a lot of clients that have amazing afters that didn't end up going on Accutane, that come to me because they don't want to go on Accutane, but they have been told point blank, you need to do this or you're going to scar.
Yeah.
You know? And so it isn't, there is scarring that can happen with acne. You know, but then there are things that this is a hot take, but I will die on this hill.
Okay, tell us.
There are things that are called scars that shouldn't be called scars because they're not permanent, and people panic about them. I'm talking about the red marks and the brown marks specifically, which is the most common thing. They are stubborn, so people think that and we even call them scars. Like, what are we going to do about these scars? I've started to call them pesky marks or stubborn marks left behind, because I think the minute you say scarring, there is something attached to that psychologically where permanency.
Yes.
So that's my hot take, that calling things like that scarring is bullshit. And you know that I don't swear often, but I want to, I know. I want to say it like that, though, because I feel like the anxiety around worrying about scarring leads people to do crazy things. It's when your routine starts to get like excessively leaning towards acids and exfoliation and trying lasers and all sorts of different things all at once because you're petrified of scarring.
Yeah, okay.
And there's no trust, really. People aren't encouraged to trust that their skin knows what to do. And I mean, if you jump on our Pacific Touch, any social media that we have, all of those before and afters, no one has been on suppression. So we know that the Pacific Touch method actually works. But all of those afters, I mean, there's no scarring.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, and no one, exactly, and no one in those particular photos, like people have gone on to do lighten and brightens when we invented them.
Yeah.
But those results haven't even, no one's done laser. And I'm not anti-laser, but I'm saying
we'll get into the lasers.
That you don't even have to do anything excessively invasive to get that level of result. But what you do need to do is give your skin time to heal, because it's very, very stubborn, and a lot of nutrients, you know, and you don't want to over-process. That is the worst thing that you can do.
Right. I mean, you always say hydrated skin heals faster. Yeah, so true.
We need to put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah. No,
hydrated
so
skin heals.
Or somewhere.
Swear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's break it down a little bit further. What are the causes of scarring in the first place? Or what would you deem as like where the red marks, so we have scars.
Yep.
But that is even broke it down further to like red marks and brown marks, like what you're talking about?
I would call red marks post-inflammatory erythema, PI. Brown marks, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. Okay, I don't consider them, like mainstream will call them scarring. I call them pesky marks left behind.
Yeah.
Then you get indentations.
Yeah.
So those are kind of like the ice pick or the box mark scars that come from the really deep cystic breakouts that some people get. And why you get that is because the collagen falls out, like it doesn't come back. So you get like the little holes.
Okay.
Now,
yes.
Here's the thing. In my day, I don't even remember. I mean, maybe there was microneedling. I don't remember that microneedling was even about then. Laser definitely wasn't. So that was really considered scarring. You know, my mum had very bad acne and she got a fennel peel, which is like the strongest peel that you
my
can
eyes are
get.
like, "Oop, I'm
yeah,
scared."
yeah, no, it was. It was
Yeah.
terrible. Like I went to pick her up. She got the fennel peel. Even she didn't realize how bad it was going to be actually. And she had little slits for eyes. Her face was all swollen and gooey.
Yeah. I feel like you've talked about this before. Her getting
And
it.
her skin was basically burnt down to like first layers sort of situation. But that's how they used to deal with it back in the day. And it did actually even out her scarring, but intense. Now, thank goodness, we have microneedling, which is amazing.
Yep.
I'm not a huge fan personally yet of lasers, just because I know I prefer microneedling, even though it is a controlled injury with the skin, done right, it works with the healing process and with the skin's mechanism. It doesn't fight it. Laser is a little hit and miss, especially for our clients that have cystic breakouts, just because you can never, like I had a client who was, I got her completely clear and she went to get laser to deal with a few of the kind of pesky marks left behind. And the heat, the problem with laser can be for some people, it heats the skin. And if you're someone who's hypersensitive and tends to get cystic breakouts, that can erupt you in more breakouts, right? The other thing too, I find with a lot of our clients that give me feedback about their experience with laser is that for the money that they pay, they're a little underwhelmed. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
It always takes more than what you think.
Right.
I do think there's a time and place for sure. And I think the technology gets better and better and better. I'm not closed off to the idea that, you know, the human mind will invent something that will, I just want it to be a little bit more working with the skin than anything else. But so you have those three categories, right? Let's just call it red marks, brown marks, and indentation.
Yep.
Red marks is more it's damaged tissue, capillaries that have been damaged in the process that just need more time to heal.
Okay, so that's like if you get a breakout and then
it goes away.
It goes away like either, you know, it goes away. And then the pinkness is left behind.
Yep.
Those like naturally fade out?
Fade out, but they take a very long time.
Okay.
So long that people get frustrated.
And probably like think they're scars like from that.
Think they're scars,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah.
How you can tell it's pie is that, and pie is very vascular, like it is related to the weakened capillary, right, and the damaged tissue. A lot of people that have pie, when you first wake up and you haven't kind of been running around, it'll be like really calm and flat. And then you'll run around during the day and
literally every
circulation,
day
blood,
of my life. Yeah.
and then, or you'll work out and the red marks go bright red.
Yep. Yeah.
That's pie.
Yeah.
It'll go away. You know, it just takes time. And the worst thing you can do for pie is to aggravate it. Like you don't want to bring in the big guns.
That's not the response.
I know.
That's not the psychological response, especially what you were talking about earlier. Because the psychological response is to be like, okay, every single day I need to exfoliate the shit out of my skin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rather than hydrate and nourish and calm. And
that's
even
also like not what we're taught to.
I
I
know.
do feel like in just acne treatment marketing, it is very much so like dry. I mean, we talk about this all the time. We could go on and on, but it's all about drying and
exfoliating.
and retinols and X, Y, and Z to just like get rid of it, when you're saying it's kind of the opposite approach.
It's the opposite. I mean, there is a point in time where it's appropriate to bring in a decent amount of mindful exfoliation, because skin does need that help and support with turnover and all of that. You know, it helps overall, but you don't want it to be the central focus.
Yeah.
With pie, you are wanting to make sure that your skincare is flooded with anti-inflammatories and skin support. Your diet will help, flooding with anti-inflammatories, lots of nutrients. You want your diet to be full of all the vitamins and minerals and everything that just optimal for healthy, you know, functioning in general, calming, everything calming and soothing. And yeah, lifestyle, stress, nervous system regulation, like anything that you can do to calm down systemic inflammation will help your skin. I mean, it's why after sleep, you know, when you've been lying, unless you've been lying on that mattress, but if you've been lying down and just calm and sleeping and repairing, that's why skin is at its best when you first wake up.
Yeah.
Or straight after a Belmondo. Hydrated,
oh my God, by the way, I did a Belmondo yesterday. Yeah, yesterday morning. I was kind of shook by how calm my skin looked afterwards. It was kind of crazy, which like...
I love it in the treatment room. Like
oh my gosh, I'm sure you see the most like crazy results because you do extractions and then you put on the Belmondo. I can do this fucking facial with the back of my hand. Like I need to be able to do it someday. But I'm sure you see the before and afters.
It's just so not. I'm so happy for clients, you know, because you're not rolling them out the door.
Yeah.
All fire engine red.
Okay, so then what about this? The brown marks.
The brown marks,
post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation.
So the brown marks are just melanin overproduction. Melanin is the pigment in our skin. So the primary function of melanin is to protect our skin. So when it sees an injury, when the skin, I don't know, detects an injury,
like
so to speak, it will produce, when you're out in the environment, especially sun, it will produce more melanin to protect that area. So blemishes are an injury, you know, as is very dry skin. Like people will get melanin patches if they're too dry as well. And so how that is different from post-inflammatory erythema, the red marks, is the focus actually is on two things. It's like you want to calm down the melanocyte activity. So there's still a focus on hydration and barrier support, that foundation of strength. Like when I'm talking about this, I know it sounds boring to like keep going on about it, but it really is the foundation of strong, healthy, well-functioning skin, right? But then the skincare add-ins that you want to put in with someone that has the brown marks is you do want to lift the pigment, lighten and brighten, but you want to do it in a mindful way where the skin is still well supported and healing. You don't want to strip the crap out of it.
Right.
You know, so on a healthy working barrier, I think that my first go-to is something like our vitamin C and niacinamide. The Pranvera vitamin C and niacinamide combo is chef kiss, entry level, lighten and brighten. Vitamin
like
C.
at home every day, light and brighten vibes. Okay, interesting.
That's like a really good starting point. And then from there, you look at potentially adding in an AHA, you know, like something to turn the skin cells over. But we move.
An AHA would be.
So that's like our you want. Well, Mandelic is an AHA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, alpha hydroxy acid.
Okay.
Is skin cell turnover.
Yep.
And if the barrier is super, super strong and well supported, that is a time when you can even look at things like the vitamin A serums, really well formulated ones. That the same is actually true of pie. Like it's not that you completely stay away from actives forever with pie.
Yep.
But your skin needs to be strong enough for it.
So let's switch into the PT approach. I know obviously a lot of what we're talking about is what you would do as an esthetician, but if we're really thinking about it, let's say we have a client who is super stressed about scarring and doesn't want to leave any marks. I know that you get that a lot.
Yeah.
What is your usual response?
So I actually don't even wait for people to ask, because I know it's in a person's head, but especially if they share that they're really worried about it. My main job is to convince a person not to worry about it at all, because I don't want them to be, when you are in acne healing mode, you absolutely need to be 150% focused on that. In your mindset, but also your skincare, right? You don't want to be confused, and you want all of the energy to be going to the right thing. And the right thing is getting clear. I really want people to focus, because the thing is, it's like with worrying about scarring, to me, is anxiety. That's nervous system. People aren't calm. And you also you don't make the best decisions when you're really anxious about something, especially if people pray.
You're incredibly irrational. Take it from somebody.
Totally.
That's
and
like,
even just the stress. You know how I was saying to you that pie is more aggravated when you're running around and it looks brighter and it looks... That is the same. The same is true when you're stressed. When you're really anxious and stressed out about it, it's going to show up on your skin. So you're not healing. It slows that. It takes energy to be anxious. And I know this because I struggle with my own demons. I'm not, and that energy is taken away from healing. So the skin is the largest organ, but it's the least vital. So your energy will primarily go everywhere to keep you alive and keep you as well as possible. Skin is last in line. So if you can, you want to make sure that your energy is going into the positivity and not being sucked up by everything else. So I will go balls to the wall, cheerleader mode, and really show all the proof I can and everything to have people not worry, because I'm genuinely not worried. I mean, you've
oh my
been
gosh, anytime I'm
really
like,
not.
because especially now at my point of my acne healing journey, like I'm like, but this like red, like it's just a little red or like, there's just like this spot, and it's obviously from like past congestion that I know, but I'm always like, but you're always, oh my gosh, like I don't even care about that. And honestly, you saying like, I really don't care about that gives me so much more peace. Then
and
I'm like,
wait,
then I don't care about that. If you don't, then I don't. See,
that's the thing is, I know it's kind of like, I mean, it's presumptuous of me to assume that I'm everybody's mother, but I remember when I was young and my mum would just say to me, I had so much faith in her, and she would just say, X is going to be okay. And in my head, I'd be like, fine.
Yeah, it's true.
But the cool thing is that I say it, but I can back it up with proof. Like most of my alumni, like, I want their skin.
No, same.
Michelle, Julia, all of them. I'm like, my God. And so I know we don't have to worry about it, and I don't want people to worry. So cheerleader mode, show them all the things, explain to them what they do need to be focused on and what we can do. And I do give them worst case scenario. Like I feel like that's another thing that you need to be open-minded about when you are in the holistic field, is you do have to, think about, okay, worst case scenario, what if I can't move that, those pesky marks? I like to stay informed. It's like, I know where I need to send them. The microneedling, I'm always keeping up with the laser stuff, because I do.
Right.
If I ever hear about a technology that's phenomenal, you can bet your bottom dollar my clients are going to hear about it.
Right.
But I have faith. I know that there is something. There's really not, there's not something that can't help.
Yeah.
For sure.
So true. So why do you put so much focus on this calming the inflammation before even dressing the scarring? Like we were saying earlier, in my case, you were like, we're focused on the congestion. We're focused on other things before even the scarring.
Because I want people's head to be in the game.
Yeah.
I need it to be not distracted by, you know, when you have too many thoughts about everything, you don't do that thing with 100%. So it's like, I want people to be super focused, but what they don't realize, and this is a little secret, you guys are learning all the secrets on the pod.
Oh my gosh, yes, heard it here first.
And I don't usually say this a lot because people can't see it. You need to see things to believe things, even if they are actually happening. And I, as an esthetician, know the person's the scarring is healing as you go. Like, that is the beautiful thing about the Pacific Touch method, is that the hydration and barrier support is actually helping this it's lessening scarring that is happening anyway.
It's so
right?
true.
I mean, the truth, you know it because when people come in that are on a heavy load of stripping topicals, their pie will be fire engine red.
Yeah.
Or, you know, we've had clients who come in that are told that they have rosacea, they're so pink.
Yeah.
Once they get all of that inflammation down and their barrier really strong, that all disappears.
Right.
And it goes so much lighter. And it's because dehydrated skin, when you're stripping, you're healing slower. Everything is just more, you're amplifying the inflammation. And inflammation is the important part of the piece forever and a day. Because it's always going to be possible. Inflammation pops off in your environment. It's you know, potentially in your diet. It's in your stress levels. It's in everything. So you need to always have that emphasis for every part of the healing process. So that's why I want people to focus. That is the number one thing to focus on for everything. Put out the fire.
Put out the fire. Yeah, that should be put on a t-shirt as well.
We need a whole...
I know, we need like a whole like...
I see.
Oh gosh.
Like, you know those racks of like t-shirts, like Vogue t-shirts, but like hydration heels. Put out the fire. Always with alofa. Yeah, be Pacific. Like, just these little t-shirts.
Yeah.
Tees.
I mean, merch coming to you soon, I guess. Yeah, for sure. So along that note, can you heal scarring with active acne?
I don't like to focus on that just because I don't want a person's routine. Like, I want 100% of the routine to be doing what it needs to do to get the acne under control. But it's kind of what I was saying to you before. A lot of the things that you're doing to heal the acne are laying the foundation for an easier road with the scarring. But we're just not going to, you know, if you're my client, I will calm your anxiety around it, but we're not going to focus on it.
Yeah.
Because I need to get you clear.
Right.
And stable.
Right.
And that's actually an important point. It's like, you need to get clear and stay clear for a little while. Like, people sometimes jump too soon. With, you know, they'll be just barely clear and they want to go and do a laser treatment. It's like, just give your skin a moment to breathe.
Yep.
Be
and
stable.
really prove that it's strong,
Exactly.
you know, like prove that like it can be working on its own, and then kind of see how that goes. And then like, you know, I think it's kind of back to that, like, we jump to the next thing. We jump too soon. Even if we do get a scar, then we're jumping to like, oh, I have to like do X, Y, and Z to get rid of it. Like, it's kind of the same for if you are clear, like, take a beat, you know, let your skin do its thing and trust that it will.
It really will.
You know, like
More
it
than
knows,
know.
It knows what it's doing. You know, our bodies really do.
Yeah. And there's an industry that's made billions and billions and billions of dollars.
It's true.
But it really is. It's like, it's made so much money fear-mongering and encouraging people not to have faith in our bodies and our systems. I mean, if you line up in your head all of the people that have come through Pacific Touch, our alumni, who haven't done any of that stuff, you know, it is possible. I know it's time. But the other beautiful thing that I love about the journey is no one comes out of this saying, oh, I just learn a bit about my skin. It's like people will always say, I learned so much about
Yeah,
me, so
myself.
much about my health.
Yeah,
You
it's
know, I'm
crazy.
a different person now. I look at everything that I do differently. And it's like, it is a transformation that is so beyond surface.
Yeah, it's so true. Well, what do you think are like the top things that can make scarring worse? Like if somebody came into your room and said they did this and you'd be like, oh my gosh, why?
I mean, you do have to be careful. This is another thing that there's a lot of misinformation around it, and I don't even know if I want to talk about it because I'm going to have so many estheticians going crazy when I say this. But you know that whole thing about picking, if you pick your skin, you'll scar? That's not 100% true.
Okay.
This, though, is one of those things. This is bad, and I'm saying this while I'm laughing at the same time because I'm giving away a bit of my personality. But sometimes I just kind of leave that myth to be because I don't want people to pick their skin.
Yeah.
I don't join in because you'll get everything straight. If you ask me a question, I'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily kind of like say, you know what, actually you can.
Yeah, right.
But the thing is that because if that were true, estheticians would scar people and we don't. What is truthful is if you don't use the right technique and you don't prep the skin correctly, you don't do the right aftercare, you could scar. And there are certain blemishes, in particular the blind cysts with a deep infection, that you just cannot touch. And what you'll do in that respect is you'll push the infection, and that's when you get more and more breakouts.
Yeah.
You know? So don't love certain types of picking. Definitely causes scarring. I can't remember the medical term for it, but there is a term for that excessive picking. Like
it's like a psychological thing. Yeah.
And it's a different type. It's not a regular,
What is it?
It's not like I took to, what are those things called? Cotton buds. Q-tips?
No, it's like they go, it's
they
like
actually
a
go in
psychological
and gouge
thing.
out like wounds. Like they have little mini wounds on their faces. That is causing scarring, you know, so that's another, but that's a very small percentage. That's not, we've definitely had a handful of people over the years, but it's not common. But picking can sometimes, if it's incorrectly, over processing the skin is big. I don't know that it's not necessarily that it scars you, but it keeps your skin, like when your skin is super dehydrated from stripping things, you're not going to heal your pie for sure.
Yeah.
You know, at all.
Yeah.
There's no way. You'll still have fire engine pie for, in that respect. But the thing about what your skin is going to do, and this is something that I think a lot of people don't realize, and going back to your original question about sometimes what derms will say when they're trying to encourage people to take a leap with, say, Accutane, etc., is that, like, you know, your skin is going to leave that pie or leave that post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation whether you pick it or not.
Yeah.
But so it's not that you've picked your skin or because you had a facial, you have that mark. That tissue is under distress and it's going to happen regardless, whether or not you clear anything.
Yeah. But we want to.
But the great news
clear
is
through.
there are plenty of things to help. It's not permanent. That's what everybody needs to understand. But there is a time and place for dealing with that.
Well, speaking of that, actually, PT is obviously a very extraction-heavy facial. It's how we believe, you know, clearing through congestion is the way to go, is through extractions. And I think a lot of people, as we've been saying, they come into, you know, the treatment room and they're like, I don't want extractions. Is that going to leave a mark? Like, I don't want to leave marks. It's always like that anxiety around leaving a mark. So as an esthetician, are you worried about them leading to marks? Are you like, I mean, you've kind of been hinting at it, but where is your level of like, should I get this or?
So I mean, 20 years in, was it 16 years in to be more accurate, never scarred anyone, you know, not saying that I don't, I'm still, I mean, if you know me, you know that I'm overcautious. So, and I won't ever lose that.
Yeah,
like,
no.
There's stories that come through the media all the time that remind you to always be mindful of that. But because we are dealing, like if you're dealing with, here's the thing, with inflamed acne or pustules, whiteheads, etc., they don't, extractions where appropriate will speed everything up, but that will actually clear with good skincare and lots of, red light LED, that sort of thing. You're just bringing, because the body is pushing that infection out.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So fine. With really deep blind cysts, we're not extracting those anyway. That is all about inflammation reduction. But with closed comedones and in particular maturation arrest acne, it falls under, really technically it's closed, meaning when the mouth of the follicle wall is completely closed out, that debris is not coming out. Like, you need extractions. Anybody that's had closed comedones, I mean, yes, people can be told, go on this tretinoin and do this. You'll be on it forever. You're going to have those teeny tiny bumps forever and a day. Like, you need proper extractions, but you need acne specialist extractions. It's not a, fingers wrapped in cotton push situation. It's you need a lancet. You need to create an opening. You need to get that debris out.
Yeah.
But you're not, done correctly, people do not get scarred.
Yeah. Okay, so let's kind of go back. I know that we've already talked about like actual treatments and things for scarring specifically. We've mentioned lasers, of course.
Yep.
Let's set the record straight. Just put it on.
We're getting so formal. Let's
I know.
set the record straight.
Well, like breaking it down, are they really what is best for acne scarring? Like
lasers?
Yeah.
It's not what's best. I know enough to know that I don't know enough to give you a blanket statement about it. So I'm happy to be corrected. If people that I know, love and trust come to me and show me they've had a great experience with the laser, I'm all for it. I am a person, like, I need to experience things myself before I'll recommend to my clients. So I would have to put myself through it at least once before I tell my people to do it. But it's not the only option. I mean, every single person that's ever come through PT so far hasn't needed it.
Right. Well, let's break down the PT protocol. Like, what would you say for scarring specifically?
I mean, if you're having problems with pesky marks being left behind, you can definitely, you stay on your PT routine with your esthetician, because they will just tweak your skincare slowly. Like, it'll move away from treating active acne to either even more inflammation reduction or, the lightening and brightening. Like, we have the actual treatment, the lighten and brighten protocol that has the bio-repeal.
Because that bio-repeal is like basically exfoliating from
the
within,
inside,
right?
And that's turning over skin cells, but we also have corrective peels that we use in the treatment room as well, plus the microcurrent that we attach, which is it's not directly treating scarring, but anything that boosts, like, we are so concerned. It's even like some of the products we use, like, the Symbio 12, the probiotic and Sieve, like strengthening the outer layer, which is not the barrier, it's the microbiome. And then the barrier improves your scarring or anything that you need to do, because you just optimize your skin's protectiveness of itself, its ability to, your system doesn't get as inflamed. Yeah. So you're not getting everything. So it's like, we have a specific, for the really stubborn cases, you can do a few series of lighten and brightens. We will refer people out, encourage them to get microneedling if we feel like that needs to be done.
Yeah, microneedling is kind of all the rage. It was my next point for you. So microneedling, I know that you've said, is really good for the divots, which is one of the types of scarring that you've talked about.
And even PI and post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, for everything. But
it's the impactions that it makes, like with the microneedling device, it's speeding up the skin cell turnover.
It's massively. Okay. Like something like, we're going to have to correct this in the show notes because I'm going to spit out a number.
Yeah.
I hate saying numbers necessarily, but in my head, it's something like 400% increase in collagen.
Yep.
Like it's crazy, crazy high. But you know how I said to you that the reason you have the hole is that the collagen is dropped out of that area? There's a technique, like you can do something called, like there's different ways that you work the microneedling pen to create and you have to go at a certain depth to be able to create the collagen induction, right? But then there's a way to kind of, you stamp in a certain way and you do things in certain areas to be able to bring the collagen back even more. And it just slowly, it doesn't happen. It's nice and subtle.
Yeah.
It's not crazy like what my mum did.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, Mum, if you're listening, you traumatized me forever. Like I burst out crying. Like I walked into the room.
I'm sure that's so scary. Like what are you doing to yourself?
She looked like a horror show. Like just all the plasma and the little slits. If we'd had microneedling back then, it would have been great. But anyway, it just slowly, like if you imagine it's a little valley, and then just boop, 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 you just get collagen, and then it just flattens out. You know what else it does actually? It helps with future breakouts because you tighten it. Doesn't just help collagen, it's collagen and elastin. So collagen is your mattress, elastin is like the snapback, right? So it snaps your follicles nice and tight so that you don't, not as much sebum pulls.
Yeah.
So you don't get as many blockages either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helps even everything out.
I've got my microneedling pen at home. I'm going to go home tonight and
what a great
I need
way
to do it over the weekend.
Yeah.
God damn it.
You really do.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, I thought that we would end with a little myth busting round.
I know
we're
going to do a rapid fire. I thought, by the way, my leg is asleep. Is your leg asleep?
No.
We've both got like little heelys on.
I noticed that. Well, this will be a myth busting rapid fire.
Okay.
So kind of a combo of both. I have a few different, things that I think a lot of, the internet or people ask or think about acne scarring, and you are here to debunk them. All right? Okay. Picking your skin leads to scarring.
It can. So unless you are a person who's had an advanced course in how to do extractions properly, don't do it. Book an appointment at Pacific Touch instead.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tanning or being in the sun will fade acne scars.
No. That is a huge, okay,
it's very archaic.
Aesthetically, and I say this as a person who struggled with acne, who was raised in New Zealand in an era that didn't use sun protection at all, I know it feels better. I remember it. But you have to remember it's sun damage.
Okay.
And you are damaging the health of the skin cell. And so even though you're making yourself slightly feel better because it doesn't feel as red and you feel like it's faded it out a little bit, you are creating a problem, a bigger problem. So
you heard it here first.
I understand,
for all those tanning bed people.
And I've been there. Don't do it.
Yeah. Acne scars will just heal on their own.
Some will, yeah.
Okay.
A small percentage need a little bit of help, but a surprisingly large percentage will just work itself out with excellent skincare, supportive treatments, and time. Lots of time.
You only need to worry about scarring if you have severe acne.
Yes, people that have very deep cystic nodular acne are the ones that need to do the most research in how they need to support their skin, because they are most at risk because all their follicles have just collapsed and the inflammation is through the roof.
Lasers are the best way to remove acne scars.
No, not true.
Yep.
I'm team microneedling.
Yeah, me too. You've gotten, just from what you say, whatever you say goes, I think.
That needs to be on a t-shirt too. I think I'm going to put that. That's going to be the stuff.
We're going to have like a whole merch
whatever
store.
Whatever you say goes.
Yeah.
Actually, that could be an anniversary present for our ballet.
Yeah. Scarring is unavoidable.
That's not true.
It's not true. Okay.
This is what I'm going to say, and this is my attempt to be the Yoda, Mama Bear, whatever.
Okay.
I'm not saying that it's all of us we're not going to get through life without some form of scarring, whether it be physical or mental. That's just is what it is. And there is a part of me, and I know this, I'm romanticizing something, but I sometimes look at people that have like a little scar on the eyebrow or, you know, a few little flaws make you interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that it's the end of the world that we think it is.
Yeah.
And so
We're
whilst I will say
perfection. And
yeah. Or we don't trust ourselves enough to know that we can have great lives being a little banged up. Like, we shouldn't avoid it, right?
Yeah.
But what I will tell you in working with skin, as long as I have, especially in the manner that we work with it in, I am pleasantly surprised how much we can do. And I'm never afraid when a person has a lot of congestion and very inflamed comes through. I know we're going to get them to a great place.
I love that. Lastly, acne scars are permanent.
No.
Yeah. Mythbuster for sure. All right.
I mean, I need to, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Here's the problem with me with rapid fires. I was brought up by a cop, a police officer, and I can't shake that. So the truth, I'm so black and white in that way.
Yeah.
And so when I get asked things, and even, I used to give evidence with child protection. So when I get asked a question and I like say something, and then in my head, I'm like, actually, Nichola, that is not 100% truth. You need to be truth.
You need to be incredibly specific.
There is a kind of acne scarring that is permanent, and it's kind of that deep nodular acne that I was talking about, regardless of whether or not a person picks their skin or anything like that. But technology, i.e. microneedling, with that sort of scarring, it's the microneedling that's crossed with like the TCA peel, helps immensely. But anybody that is in that situation, do your due diligence, do a lot of research and find practitioners that are experienced, well-educated, and align with your values on how you treat your body.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to say. So it's not, I was a little flippant when I went, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
There is a caveat.
Yeah. True Nichola answer, honestly. Well, thank you so much for all of your insight. I really hope that this episode just like alleviated things for people, like made maybe them feel just a little bit better, like a little bit like, it's not the end of the world. Like we got this, you know what I mean? And I that's something that you've really helped me with my journey. So I really hope that everybody else feels the same listening to this. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. As always, we really do appreciate this small but amazing community. Again, with the giveaway, make sure to comment on the reel or whatever, or the post for this episode, what you learned, your favorite takeaways, and we hope to see you in the treatment room soon.
It's going to be fun.
Yay. Thank you so much, everybody. Follow us on Skin Talk Tuesday podcast and, of course, Pacific Touch NYC, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.